please introduce yourself?
I'm Quentin Alexander Craig, proud Christian, son of Chris and Jenny Craig.
All right. So my first question for you today is, when, specifically or not, were you introduced to this religion?
Well, I was baptized when I was born, so I was already introduced to the religion. I was born into the religion, and early on, my parents pressed it upon me too.
Right. So that kind of takes me into my second question of who originally got you into this religion.
Yeah, my parents were the ones, and then before my parents, it was my grandparents who,
Got your parents originally into
parents
it.
into the religion.
So if you think of what is one unique thing about your religion to you or in general? It's a little bit of a tough question, but
One interesting thing.
yeah, interesting or unique.
Well, for me, for my family, we usually go out to restaurants on holidays like Easter and Christmas. Usually on Easter, we go out to brunch every Easter and celebrate. And Palm Sunday, we get our own palms and celebrate in that way.
Alright. So are there any symbols connected to your religion that you know about?
Well, there's obviously the cross, which
I feel like that's the main one or
Yeah.
the big one.
that's a big one. Yeah.
So
Major
fo-
symbol.
follow-up to that is, do you wear or keep any of these symbols on you?
Yeah, before every football game, I kiss my cross chain and raise it up to the sky, and it gives me a sense of reassurance and protection.
So that kind of answers that it makes you feel more connected to your religion. Would you say that?
Yeah, by far.
Alright. Do you pray?
Yeah.
If so, how often?
I pray every night before I go to bed. I thank God for keeping me in this wonderful world. And every morning I thank God for my blessings.
That's a good answer. So do you attend a worship service or church in general?
Yeah, I've been going to church every Sunday since when I could remember, really.
Since a young age?
Yeah, ever since I could go to church and kneel a little.
So follow up to that, has COVID affected your attendance at church?
Yeah, obviously, because we weren't allowed in my church, St. Elizabeth Church. We weren't allowed in the church the whole time COVID was going on, but we had Zoom masses and stuff like that, especially one of the big ones is Christmas. But yeah, it was weird having church at home because I'm not really in the religious atmosphere.
Yeah. So does practicing your religion impact your daily life, or are you able to squeeze in what you need without disorganizing your schedule?
No, I built praying and stuff like that into my schedule,
So-
like I said before. So I kind of work around my religion rather than putting
So
it
you
off
do.
to the side. Yeah.
Alright. So what do you believe will happen to you after death?
I'm gonna go to heaven.
Oh. It's a big beef. Do you believe this will happen to everybody?
No. I think that there are evil people in the world. I think there's a heaven and hell, and not everyone has done good in their life to go to heaven. So no, I think people will go to hell, and I think people will go to heaven.
So how does your religion help you get through hardships and tough times?
Well, I know that I always have God. When I have no one, I know that I can always rely on God, and I can always trust God to get me out of tough situations.
So you look to him as not necessarily a role model, but almost like a guide and a friend.
Yeah.
So, how has your religion, if it has, changed in your eyes as you've gotten older?
Well, when I was younger and it was pressed on me by my parents, I was kind of born into Christianity. I was like, okay, whatever. This is, I
Kind of
believed in it.
Forced to go to church
But
and all that.
yeah, but ever since like high school, I've been questioning the integrity and relevance of God, because in good and evil class we went over like the Holocaust and like 9/11, where God didn't help. It just made me question if He was really there or not.
So, as you've gotten older, do you feel more connected to it now than when you were younger?
No, I'm starting to feel less connected.
Less connected because you're learning about the new.
Yeah, but
Or-
I still go to mass and
You still believe, but
I still practice, but
you're starting to
question.
awaken
Yeah.
to the real world. Alright, so that's 7 minutes. Let's see if I can think of any other good questions off the top of my head. So you said that COVID has had a big impact on your overall religion because you can't go to church and all that. Who do you usually go to church with? Because I know you said your grandparents were the ones who originally got your parents into it. So do you go with them usually?
Yeah. So my grandparents on my mom's side, just my grandmother. I usually go with her because she lives close by, and then I'll go with my mom and my dad, and my siblings are in college, so I usually go with all my family on my mom's side, but no, I haven't been able to go recently, and COVID, that hurt a lot too, because my siblings and my grandparents weren't allowed at my house, so
you said your siblings do go to church with you still?
yeah.
So how do you feel like because they obviously are older than you, your siblings are in college, and they still go to church and all that. So do you feel like when you're their age or in college, you'll make time to go to church?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my brother did that here at Hill. He made time to go to chapel and stuff, and I see how he's doing well.
So it worked out well for him.
Yeah. I don't want to completely give up on Christianity yet, but I just feel a little different than my siblings, because I feel like I'm questioning it more.
So you feel like more like with all of the stuff, like living through all of this new stuff that they might not have lived through, you feel like you question it a little bit more than they might have?
Yeah, I think I just think of a little differently than them. I don't think they question it as much. They just kind of just go with it and just believe in God.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming out today, allowing me to ask you these questions.
Yep.